question number 21 of this paper. The first of all, let us come to the question. The question is, three bells ring at an interval of 4, 7 and 14 minutes respectively. यहाँ पर तीन डिफरेंट बेल्स है, वो 4, 7 और 14 मिनट्स पर रिंग करती है. All three bells rang at 6 a.m. They together rang at 6 a.m. When the three bells will ring together next, means we have to tell the time at which again they will be ringing at the same time. So the question is a very simple question here. We have to find out the time interval after which the bell will ring together. So this is nothing but the LCM of 4, 7 and 14, because this time will be the next multiple of the common multiple of these three numbers, and it is the, we have to find out the only next time when it will be ringing together. So the next value will be the LCM of this, because we have to find out the minimum time after which they will ring together. So here the LCM of this three will be giving us the answer. So let us find out the LCM by using prime factorization method. The factors of 4 are 2 into 2, which can be written as 2 power 2. Factors of 7 are 7 only, 7 power 1. And then we have 14, that is 2 into 7. That is 2 power 1, 7 power. So clearly the LCM of 4, 7 and 14 is nothing but, we have different numbers 2 and 7 here. So we have to write 2 into 7. Then the highest power of each number. The highest power of 2 is 1 and 2. So the highest power is 2 here. And the highest power of 7 is 1. So from here we are getting 4 into 7. That is 28. So after 28 minutes, they will be ringing together again. So the time at which they will ring together. So the time at which they will ring together will be 28 minutes later than 6 a.m. So the timing will be 6:28 a.m. After 28 minutes from the given time, they will ring again together. That is 6:28 a.m. Question, that is question number 22. Here we have two parts. Let us solve the first part of this, when we will go to the question which is given in OR. Find the point on x-axis which is equidistant from the point given here. So to solve this kind of question, we have to assume the point which is given and on x-axis. So let the point is on x-axis, the y-coordinate is always 0. Let me call this point as P, that will be x, 0. And the points are A, that is 2, minus 2, and B, minus 4, 2. According to the question, a relation is given, that is the point P is at equal distance from point A and B. So we can write AP is equals to BP, and if we take square, then this is also correct. So we have to take square, as we have to remove the square root from the formula of distance. So clearly here we have to substitute the values in the distance formula. The point A is taken as x1, y1, and P is taken as x2, y2. So from here, x2 minus x1 whole square, that is x minus 2 whole square, plus y2 minus y1, so 0 minus of minus 2 whole square. This is equals to, when we talk about point B, again this is x minus of minus 4 whole square plus 0 minus 2 whole square. So when we solve this further, we will be getting something interesting here. X minus 2 whole square is x square, a minus b whole square we have to apply here. So x minus 2 whole square will get us x square minus 4x plus 4, and from here 0 minus of minus 2, this will get plus 2, and the square of this will be plus 4 is equals to, this will become x plus 4 whole square, so x square plus 8x plus 16 plus 4. So from here we have a certain cancellation. X square and x square is cancelled, this 4 is cancelled with this 4, and let us write the values which are remaining here. Minus 4x plus 4 is equals to 8x plus 16. So when we simplify this, what we will get? If we bring it here, 16 is brought to LHS, so this will become minus 16, and the 4x is brought to RHS, so this becomes 4x. So from here we are getting minus 12 is equals to 12x. So the required point here is minus 12 upon 12. So the the value of x is minus 1. So the required point which we have assumed as x comma 0 is minus 1 comma 0, which is the required answer here. So the point which is on x axis and is at equal distance from these 2 points, 2 comma minus 2 and minus 4 comma 2, is minus 1 comma 0, which we assumed as x comma 0. We calculated the value of x here and substituted in this the point which we assumed as x comma 0. So this is x is replaced by minus 1 here, so the point become minus 1 comma. So let us come to the second part, the optional question in question number 22. Here we have two points P and Q such that the coordinates are minus 2 comma 5 and the coordinates of Q are 3 comma 2. Now in between we have to take a point R and find out the coordinates of this. Let me take the coordinate of R as x comma y. Now one relation is given to us, PR is equals to 2QR. If we take the ratio in a proper form, PR upon QR, it is coming as 2 upon 1. Means the ratio here in which the line segment PQ is divided by R is 2:1. So we can apply section formula here to get the coordinates of R. The formula for calculation of coordinates by using section formula are m1 x2 plus m2 x1 upon m1 plus m2. This is the coordinate of x coordinate of this. So let me substitute the values here, and similarly we can just write y2 m1 y2 plus m2 y1 upon m1 plus m2. Now here x is equals to m1 की जो वैल्यू है वो 2 है और m2 की वैल्यू 1 है, 2 इंटू यहाँ पर x1 y1 जो होगा वो फर्स्ट पॉइंट होगा P और x2 y2 जो होगा वो सेकेंड पॉइंट होगा. Now we have to substitute the values. X is equals to m1 that is 2, x2 that is 3 plus m1 that is 1 and m2 that is 1 and x1 m2 x1 is minus 2, so minus 2 here upon 2 plus 1. So from here what we are getting, 2 into 3 6 minus 2 that is 4 by 3, and the y coordinate here is 2 into y2 is 2 plus 1 into x, y1 is 5, 1 into 5 upon 2 plus 1. So from here what we are getting, 2 2 is 4 plus 5 9 by 3 that is 3. So the required point R x comma y is nothing but 4 by 3 comma 3. This is the required point. Let us come to question number 23, which is find a quadratic polynomial whose zeros are 5 minus 3 root 2 and 5 plus 3 root 2. We have to find a quadratic polynomial whose zeros are given to us. So this is a question to find out P of x. Let us suppose the zeros are alpha is equals to 5 minus 3 root 2 and beta is equals to 5 plus 3 root 2. Now to find the polynomial, we need the sum of 0 and the product of 0. So let us calculate the sum of 0, that is alpha plus beta. And if we add these two, we'll be getting a very simple result. 5 minus 3 root 2 and 5 plus 3 root 2. If we add these two, we'll be getting this. So here, this is coming out to be 10. Then we have alpha beta, which is, if we multiply alpha with beta, that is 5 minus 3 root 2 multiplied with 5 plus 3 root 2. So if we multiply these two, what we will get? This is a plus b into a minus b. So this is 5 square minus 3 root 2 whole square, which is coming out to be 25 minus 18, that is coming as 7. So from here, the required polynomial is nothing but x square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta. So what we are getting here, x square minus, the sum of 0 is 10, so minus 10x plus 7. This is the required polynomial which we want to calculate here. So now let us come to the question number 24. Here we have to draw a line segment AB of length 9 cm, and then by taking A and B as center, we have to draw two circles having radius 5 and 3 cm. Then from the center of first circle, we have to draw tangent to the second circle, and from the center of second circle, we have to draw the tangent to the first circle. So it is a very simple question, a direct question based on the construction. And here, let me come to this. First of all, we have to draw the line segment here. Let us suppose this is the line segment AB and its length is 9 cm. Now, by taking the center A, we have to draw a circle of radius 5 cm. So, if we look here, this will be something in the midpoint. So, take radius 5 cm and draw a circle by taking A as the center, and then we have to draw another circle having radius 3 cm from by taking B as the center. So here clearly these two circles will be drawn. Now by center of first, we have to draw tangents to the other circle, and by the center of second circle, we have to draw the tangent to the first circle. Clearly we need the next step in this construction is to find out the midpoint of this line segment AB. Here the point A will work as the external point for circle B, and the point B will work as the external point for circle A. So circle with center A. So here we need the midpoint of this line segment, for which we have to take an arc which is greater than half of this length, means इसका जो half से जो ज़्यादा length होगी उतना लेके हम दो arc बनाएंगे. एक one will be above the line and one will be below line from A. Then the same arc will be drawn by taking the same radius from point B. So we'll be getting the point of intersection, and then we have to join these lines to get the midpoint of this line segment. Let me name it M. Suppose this is the midpoint which we are getting here, and now from this point M as circle, center of the circle, ये जो midpoint है यहाँ से हम इसको center मान के एक सर्कल ड्रॉ करेंगे जिसकी रेडियस या तो AM होगी या MB होगी. As it is midpoint, so both will be same. So we have to draw another circle where AB will work as the diameter and the radius will be AM or MB. Now we have this third circle which is intersecting our previous circle. at 2 points. First one is this point and second one is this. Then the second circle is intersected at this point. Now from the points here, we can draw tangents to the first circle from point B. We have to just join this point of intersection of circle with the center of other circle like this. So these two, let me call this as P and Q. So PB and PQ are the tangent to the first circle. And now if I join these points here, let me call them XY. So AX and AY are the tangents from point A to the center of circle with B, and the tangents AX and AY are drawn to the second circle from the center of first circle. Now let us come to 25th question of this paper. Here we have a trigonometric ratio 10a given as 3/4, and we have to find the value of this expression. So let us start with the given value. Here one trigonometric ratio 10a is given as 3/4. Now according to the ratio, we have a abbreviation, that is Pandit Badri Prasad her goal, which is taken as sine, cos and tan. So if we compare with this, clearly the perpendicular is 3 and the base is 4. So if we consider a triangle ABC, in which suppose B is the right angle triangle, then the perpendicular BC will be 3, the base will be taken as 4. So the length of AC will be sum of AB square and BC square, the square root of AC, and the AB square is 3 square plus 4 square. So from here we are getting 9 plus 16, that is 25. AC square is 25. So from here we are getting AC is equals to 5. AC is coming out to be 5, means the hypotenuse here is 5. So we can easily calculate the value of sine A and cos A here. So the sine A is nothing but perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So here the perpendicular for this angle A is 3 and the hypotenuse is 5. And similarly the value of cos A is base upon hypotenuse. So base is 4 and the hypotenuse is 5. So 4 upon 5. Now to get the answer, the value which we want to calculate here is 1 upon sine A plus 1 upon cos A. Here 1 upon sine A. Sine A is 3/5. So 1 upon 3/5 plus 1 upon 4/5. So from here we are getting 5/3 plus 5/4. When we add these two values, we'll be getting, we have to cross multiply actually here. 3 4s are 12 and 5 4s are 20 plus 3 5s are 15. So from here the answer is coming out to be 35/12, and this is the required answer. Now let us come to the second option given in question number 25. We have a question in OR where root 3 sin theta minus cos theta is given equals to 0. We have to find the theta here, where the theta lies between 0 and 90 degrees. So clearly we have to start with the given value. So here we have root 3 sin theta minus cos theta is equals to 0. This is given to us. So from here we can easily write root 3 sin theta is equals to cos theta, and if we carry this sin theta to RHS, this will be cos theta upon sin theta, and if we take reciprocal of this, we will be getting 1 by root 3 is equals to sin theta upon cos theta, and finally sin theta upon cos theta is nothing but tan theta. So tan theta is coming out to be 1 by root 3, and as we know that under the value of theta from 0 to 90, tan theta is nothing but tan 30 degree. So from here we can find out the theta is 30 degree, which is in between 0 to 90 degree. So now let us come to this question number 26. Here in this question we have a question related to the circles, In the figure, one quadrilateral ABCD is circumscribing a circle with the center at O. Now, there are two tangents AB and AD which are perpendicular to each other. If radius of in circle is 10 centimeters, we have to find the value of x here. So the value of x which we want to calculate here is the length AB, which is the one tangent here. This is x which we want to calculate. So here clearly we need some calculation, and to start this question, let us have some observation here. If we talk about the tangent CR is equals to CQ, because they are the tangents from the same point C and both are equals to 27 centimeters. Now, as in question it is given that BC is equals to 38 centimeters. So from here we can calculate the value of BQ, which is BC minus QC, and BC is 38 minus 27, which is coming out to be 11 सेंटीमीटर है. यहाँ पर BQ की जो लेंथ आ रही है वो 11 सेंटीमीटर है, एंड BQ is equals to BP, as these are the tangents from the same point. So BQ and BP are equal, so both will be equal to 11 centimeters. Now when we look at the total length AB, so if we look at point A, at point A there are two tangents AP and AS, and since this is perpendicular here, this angle is also 90 degree. If we join O and P, this is again a 90 degree angle. So we can say at point A, AP is equals to AS is equals to 10 centimeters. Why we can write this? Because this APOS is a square, as the 90 degree angles are given. If this is APOS is a square, APOS is a square, this AP will be 10 centimeters. So now the x here, AB, which is given as x, is nothing but the sum of AP and PB. So AP plus PB here. AP we have calculated already. AP is 10 centimeters, and PB we have calculated here. PB is 11 centimeters. So in all, if we want to calculate the length of AB, this is nothing but 21 centimeters. So let us come to question number 27 here. We have to prove that 2 minus root 3 is an irrational number, and we know that root 3 is irrational. So these kind of questions from chapter number 1, number system, we have a very fixed pattern to write the answer. We have to prove that 2 minus root 3 is irrational. So we have to start this question by assuming the opposite of this. Let us assume that 2 minus root 3 is rational. We have to assume that 2 minus root 3 is rational, and we can write 2 minus root 3 is equals to A by B, where A and B are co-prime integers and Q is not equal to 0. Here 2 minus root 3 is equals to A by B, where A and B are co-prime integers and Q is not equals to 0. So from here we can calculate the value of root 3. So we can easily write 2 minus A upon B is equals to root 3. We have brought this minus 3 to RHS, and A by B is being brought to LHS. If we take cross multiplication here, we'll be getting B in the denominator, and if we cross multiply this, we'll get 2B minus 1 into A is A is equals to root 3. Now this This gives us the root 3 is equals to 2b minus a upon b. This proves that root 3 is rational. Now, why it is proved that root 3 is rational? Because we have assumed that a and b are co-prime integers. So whenever we will have any kind of combination of integers where this value of b is not equals to 0, where we have assumed a upon b, so b is not equals to 0. If b is not 0, this value will surely be a rational number, and in question it is given that root 3 is irrational, so this is wrong. But root 3 is irrational, hence our assumption is wrong. ये गलत इसलिए आया क्योंकि हमने जो अज्यूम किया है वो गलत है. So our assumption is wrong, hence 2 minus root 3 is irrational. So this is how we solve the. So let us come to the question number 28 here. The question is, if one root of the quadratic equation is equation 3x square plus px plus 4 is equals to 0 is given as 2 by 3. We have to find the value of this unknown p, which is coefficient of x, and the other root of the equation. First of all, let us find out the value of p. As you know by the remainder theorem, that if a factor is given, if anything is 0 of any quadratic equation, and it will satisfy it. So let me write the given equation. Given equation is 3x square plus px plus 4 is equals to 0. The equation is like this. Now we know that if it is alpha is equals to 2 by 3 is a root of equation, then clearly we can say 3 into 2 by 3 square plus 3 into 2 by 3 plus 4 is equals to 0. This will definitely satisfy this root here. So from here we can find out the value of p. So 3 into this we will get 4 by 9 plus 2p by 3 plus 4 is equals to 0. If we solve this further, this is divided by 3. If we take the LCM here, we will be getting 3. So 4 plus 2p plus 4 is equals to here we'll be getting 3 into 4, that is 12. So from here we are getting this value. This 3 will go in RHS, so it will become 0. So the value here we are getting is 2p plus 4 plus 12 is equals to 16. So from here 2p is equals to minus 16. So p is coming out to be 16 by 2, which is minus 8. Here the value of p is coming out to be minus 8. So clearly we have the value of p now. So the equation become now 3x square. The value of p is minus 8x plus 4 is equals to 0. Now we have to find the other root. So let us find out the roots of this equation now. Clearly 3 4 12 is there, so factors of 12 to represent 8 we get minus 6x minus 2x plus 4 is equals to 0. So from here we can take 3x common. So x minus 2 will remain. From here we will be taking minus 2 common. So x minus 2 is remaining. So from here we have two factors, 3x minus 2 and x minus 2. So if we want to calculate the 0 of this equation, we have to equate one by one them to equal to 0. So from here the values of x are coming as 2 by 3 or x is equal to 2. So 2 by 3 is already given to us, x is equal to 2 by 3. So the required value of x here is x is equal to 2. So in the final answer, the value of p is minus 8 and x is equal to 2, which we have calculated by using a very simple concept. If a root is known to us, it will satisfy the given equation. So from there we get the value of p, and then when we substitute this value of p in the given equation, the equation becomes 3x square minus 8x plus 4 is equals to 0. So finally the values of x are 2 by 3 and x is equals to 2. This is already given in the question, so the other root is x is equals to. So let us come to the second option given in this question number 28. The question in OR is the roots alpha and beta of the quadratic equation x square minus 5x plus 3 times k minus 1 is equals to 0 are such that alpha minus beta is equals to 1. Then we have to find the value of k. This is again the question based on quadratic equation. So let us start with the equation only. The equation is x square minus 5x plus 3 times k minus 1 is equals to 0. Clearly when we compare this with the standard equation, we have the coefficient of x square, that is a, as 1, the value of b is minus 5, and the value of c is 3 times of k minus 1. So these are the values of a, b and c respectively. Now from here, if we calculate the sum of roots by comparing the coefficient with the sum of roots and the product of roots, we can write this is minus b by a, so this is nothing but minus of minus 5 upon 1, which is coming out to be 5. The sum of roots is 5 and the product of roots which we get is c by a. Here the value of c is 3 times k minus 1 upon a, that is 1. So here we are getting 3k minus 3. Now one additional information is given to us in the question. Alpha minus beta is equals to 1. So we'll be converting that result into alpha plus beta and alpha beta, so that we can find out the value of k by substituting the values of alpha plus beta and alpha beta. Given that alpha minus beta is equals to 1, if we take square of this, we'll be getting alpha minus beta whole square is equals to 1 square. So from here, alpha square plus beta square minus 2 alpha beta is 1. Clearly this is not a perfect square. This value we have alpha beta, so we can substitute. Now let us convert this into a whole square so that we will get alpha plus beta whole square. So to make this a whole square, we have to add 2 alpha beta, and simultaneously we have to subtract it, and one value is already there, minus 2 alpha beta is equals to 1. हमने क्या किया है, अल्फा स्क्वायर प्लस बीटा स्क्वायर में एक बार 2 अल्फा बीटा प्लस किया और एक बार सब्ट्रैक्ट कर लिया. So when we combine these three, first alpha square, beta square plus 2 alpha beta, we get alpha plus beta whole square. These are combined, minus 2 alpha beta minus 2 alpha beta, it becomes minus 4 alpha beta is equals to 1. Now substitute the values. Alpha plus beta is nothing but 5. So 5 square minus 4 alpha beta. Alpha beta is 3k minus 3. So 3k minus 3 is equals to 1. So from here we are getting a very simple value, 25 minus 4 times. Let us multiply this. So we will be getting 25 minus 12k, and this is plus 12 is equals to 1. So when we solve this further, what we will get, this 12k I am taking to RHS. So 12k is equals to, this all in the LHS will be 25 plus 12, this will give us 37, then minus 1, so this is 36. So from here the value of k is coming out to be 36 by 12, so k is equals to 3. So the value of k here is 3. So if we substitute value of 3 here, value of k is equals to 3, then alpha minus beta will be 1 as given in the question. So here we have a very simple concept. We have to convert the given value into a perfect square so that we get the sum of zeros and the product of 0 only, so that we can find out the value of unknown in this question.